Yo, what is going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we had a little bit different of a video here. Looking at this is a pro point, so a competitive game of hardpoint, and it was a good game for me. We won. It was all around just a fun game with a pickup team here, so the game was probably a lot closer than it should have been. But again, like being a pickup team, uh, not really ever playing together. We literally is the first time we played together. It was just to run pro points. Like we just want to do go and do that. So it's not a surprise that we didn't shut out the game like we should have. I think we take a pretty hefty lead here, and because of that, we probably get a little complacent just because pickup team. But competitive in this game is a lot of. I mean, the guns are fun. Headshot multipliers got to go. It's gotta go. You get eviscerated the second somebody hits your head, and so there's a lot of controversy about COD and the headshot, and there's people who are like comparing it to Counter Strike and saying, well, headshots are what separates the great players from the average players. And in Counter Strike, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I haven't played enough Counter Strike to know this, but I am willing to bet that the recoil or flinch from being shot at in Counter Strike is not the same as being shot at in COD. You can get the first 1 to 2 bullets on somebody, and that'll cause their gun to bump up. And if they're shooting back at you, they instantly melt you because you shot first, you hit them first, which made them flinch up and then hit your head. And that's just, in this game, is instant death. Like, it's literally 1 to 2 bullet kill to the head. And COD's so fast that that little flinch from shooting first, if you're not shooting somebody in the head, that they just completely take you out. But that is, it has to be nerfed or taken out completely. Like the footsteps just got an update. I don't really know how they're acting right now. I know they're supposed to be like crouching is more quiet, ADSing is more quiet. I know things like that are supposed to be happening, but I don't really know. I think they're like when they say they're nerfing stuff, they're not really nerfing it. They're making it, bringing it down just a little bit, just a touch, to see how people react or something. So I know the shotgun supposedly got nerfed, and that's actually better now. So hopefully we can figure this stuff out really soon, because playing like this with these footsteps and for pubs, the shoddy and everything, it's just not fun. It's just not fun. Like respawn with the footsteps, okay, it's not that big a deal. Search with the footsteps, you literally cannot move. If you're in a 1v2, 1v3, you cannot move because they'll hear you. And obviously, that just means they'll collapse on you and they kill you, and then you're done. Round over, you lost. So hopefully we can get those things a little bit changed. But overall competitive, a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun playing it, and I think that it's got a lot of potential. But the things that are wrong are big things that are wrong and that are affecting it in such a negative way that you just can't enjoy the game, which sucks because, like I said, this game has a ton of promise and a ton of potential. The guns are fun to use. The gunfights, like shooting, is satisfactory. When you shoot the guns, it feels good. It sounds good. The hit markers and when you kill someone sounds good. And it's just those small things that are just irritating because they happen over and over and over and over again that just need to be fixed and tuned. Spawns are a big thing too. They got to get fixed. Those things are broken beyond belief. You cannot tell where someone is spawning, so that is a big problem. um, as well as the minimap. This is Call of Duty. The minimap has always shown red dots when people shoot without a silencer, and for some reason they took that out. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they were thinking, because this is a Call of Duty. So hopefully, I think they're supposed to be changing it. I think in custom games, it's actually a setting now for competitive that'll be turned on. But it needs to be in pubs. It just there's all these small changes, these little things that just need to be fixed or brought back, like the mini map, and that will just make the game so much better that it'll just be unbelievable. So the last thing that I want to talk about in competitive is the GAs, or the Gentleman's Agreement. Um, for me personally, I mean, in Black Ops 4, I think that the GAs went way overboard. Like, I think they were just banning everything that gave a slight advantage because they didn't want to deal with it. And in this game, I mean, we're still in the beginning, obviously, so the GA list is small. Like, no mounting, which I can agree with. No suppressors, which I'm not sure about, but they seem like they do a lot for just being a suppressor, like ADS speed and all that types of stuff. So maybe that's a good thing as well. And then kill streaks taken out, which, I mean, I don't really know. Like, I feel like kill streaks are a big thing in COD, and a big, like, difference maker, and they have been, besides the past few CODs where they've been GA'd and everything. So I just don't want the GA list to get so big where it's literally limiting anything that you can do. Like, any attachment that gives you a slight advantage, that they just take it out and say, you know, we're GAing this because we don't want to deal with it. I just don't think that's how the game should be played, because that just takes away from, like, metas and stuff. And I mean, I understand that it's a 1-year cycle, and to make it the most competitive game that we can, we got to take into account GAs, and try and make sure the game stays competitive, because you can't have, I mean, obviously you can't have claymores, those IED things, but those aren't GA, those are just straight up banned. And I would like to see the rule set just ban these things. Instead of GAs, just ban it, so that everybody has to go by these rules, and if you don't, you get penalized and forfeited and stuff like that, instead of GAs where you can't fight it. Like, if somebody says you want to play GAs and you agree to it, and, you know, last map, you know, you win one map, they win one map, it goes last map, and they decide to break the GAs and use streaks and suppressors and all that stuff, it's just trash. You can't do anything but do it back. You know, even though you agreed to it, it's not a rule. So I just wish they would ban these things instead of making a GA list, but that's just me. I understand the GAs. I wish that they would just ban the things, instead of making a GA, just because I think it'd be easier to enforce and easier to follow. You know, if everybody thinks that it makes the game more competitive, then just ban it so it's against the rules and no one can use them, and you've solved your problem. Now, if someone uses it, they forfeit. They can't go back on, you know, agreeing to a GA, because they get punished for it. So that's just my take. But talking about this game right here, you can see the scores flipped. I haven't been really paying attention to the score while commentating this, but I know at one point we were up quite a bit. Probably got a little complacent. And now you can see the scores flipped, and it's a lot closer. And this game finishes as a very close game. And it was, you know, fun to play in, a good game. And I think overall, for me personally, I am learning a lot about the game, you know, spots on the game, how to push certain angles and get certain angles and nade spots and all those little things that you only get by playing, and that you can't, you know, come into any COD and no, like, if you come into a COD and have gun skill, you're going to be good, but if you got to know the spots, the angles, how to break certain angles, how to push certain hills as a team, defend certain hills as a team. You know, all these things add up and have a big influence on how the game is played. And those are things you can only learn by playing. And I think by playing all these types of things, that I'm getting better. I am not, you know, afraid to say that in the beginning of this game, when I didn't know any of the spots, or, you know, how certain hills were going to play out, or even the rotations of hills, it was that early in the game. figuring that stuff out can be tough, and it affects your gameplay, and it makes you play worse than what you would actually play. And I feel like I was falling into that, but we can see by this game, and this is Gunrunner, which is a sub happy map. It's not. Other maps are really hard to run a sub on, but this map is easy and kind of fun overall to run a sub. So we got that. But we're learning. We're out here. It's going to be a good year of competitive if they can fix these little things and overall just make the game how it should have been when it came out. It is a Call of Duty, so let's keep that COD feeling there. And it's going to wrap up here. You can see I get a dirty kill in the smoke there. We pre-aim the bathroom, and I fall, but we get back in the hill and win that thing. So, guys, with the game ending, let me know what you guys feel about competitive, if you are playing it or involved in it, and how you are feeling these games are playing out. But, as always, guys, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. I'll support. It really helps channel grow. I'll see you guys in my next video.